Hello guys, welcome back to your channel. So today I brought you nothing but a warning. Don't trade in the forex market without this. So we're going to learn about something very interesting before this video comes to an end. So stay put and get to learn what I have for you today, right? So for our case study today, we'll be using a boom 1000. That's what I'm going to use for our case study today, right? Okay, so let me clear my chat like this, right? Okay, so back to the basics, right? What we learned on this channel, right? If you haven't learned about the market structure, make sure that you go back to the videos and get to learn this concept because it's crucial, it's important, you need this, right? So we want to get to study boom 1000, right? Okay, so if you look at this very instrument, you're going to realize that this market actually broke this high at this very point, right? The market started breaking these previous highs there. Let me increase the size. The market started breaking the highs at this very point, right? That's when we started having a bullish bias, right? Whenever the market fails to create previous new lows, it starts to break the previous highs, right? Then our area of interest there is the origin of this impulse move, right, that came to break the structure, right? So of interest, I would like this this order block, right, to use, right? So we expected price to actually come into this order block, then we get to buy. This was a buy that we got yesterday in this booming crash market, right? So these concepts apply to any market that we actually want to trade. So according to structure, we're sure that this thing is going to rise from this zone, right? Then how about our strategy? According to our strategy, the boom and crash strategy that I actually taught you in the previous video, right? So going to our M5 time frame, we realize that the previous day, that happens to be this day, it had closed bullish. The market opened here and it closed there, right? So we're looking for buy trades on this very trade, right? Then we get to learn that we got a signal from the strategy that I told you, right? Price came below this zone, right? Then it pushed all the way up. Then the moment it started to come above the level 37, we're looking for buys, right? That's when I said you start drawing your trend lines there, right? So I'm going to put a trend line for the first layer, right? Then the second layer of a trend line, or the third layer of the trend line, remember I said it should come where this vertical line is. So I'm going to take it from this point, then draw another another trend line there, right? So we're having our trend line, them intercepting with our vertical line, right? Then we are learning that a price actually broke out here. I said after this confirmation, number one, daily, number two, X line, number three, trend line breakout. So after the breakout, we are learning that we are now waiting for a retest in some demand zones that we'll be having there. So if I zoom a little bit big there, we are going to learn that we had a demand zone that was right there, right? And this is where we were supposed to take our buys from on boom 1000. So we are learning that according to this strategy, it's aligning with what we learned on the previous video, right? It's also aligning to the concepts of structure that we learned in the other videos, because our buy is coming from these regions, right? From the first analysis, we said we should expect a price to react from this from this order block, and we are seeing that a price did react, and we got our buy from that from that very zone. So this is confluence, right? Then there is something interesting that I have said, that I've just mentioned. Don't trade without this if you're a forex trader, right? So what is that? So I'm bringing to you what we call key levels, right? So after doing your analysis, you have noticed that this is your order block, right? You have noticed that this is your supply or demand zone, or you've noticed that your X line is sank into the level 37 whilst it's rising. What is it that you also have to look at, right? So we have what we call key levels, right? So the key levels that I'm going to teach you, I will teach you key levels according to psychological zones, right? For more information and deep information about key levels, we will get to learn about the quarter points, right? We will get to learn about RB zones. Then you have to be part of the premium platforms, right? You have to join our services. Okay, so let me get to the psychological zones that I have to teach you, right? So in the forex market, we have what we call naturally occurring support and resistance zone, naturally occurring support and resistance, where price is going to react from time to time, right? So let me get to maybe another instrument, maybe a crash 1000, then I get to show you, right? Then I get to show you. Let me get to this. Okay, let me load this template. Crash 1000. Okay, let me just go to the daily time frame, then I zoom in like that, right? So whenever I'm trading, I have my chart like this, right? I have some key levels that always stay in my chart. These are naturally occurring key levels, right? So I'm going to teach you on psychological levels, right, and how we get to apply them after we have our setups, right? So if you look at this very template that I've brought here, you realize that on almost every line we're seeing our price reacting in those levels. Let's look at this high. Price came and it bounced there, right? Price came to this level, it bounced there. Price came to this level, actually this one, it bounced there. Price came to this level, it bounced there. To this very level, it bounced there. To this very level, it bounced. To this level, it bounced. To this very level, it bounced. It's actually bounced on this on approaching this level, right? On coming to this one, it bounced. On coming to this one, it bounce, right? I can show you as many zones that I can show you where price actually reacted just on those just on those lines, right? So the question is, what are these, right? So these are what we actually call psychological levels. Psychological levels, where we expect our price to be reacting from. Like I said, these are just natural support and resistance lines, right? Okay, so how do you get to know, how do you get to plot these levels? It's very, very easy, right? So you've seen how price gets to react in those levels, right? So how do you get to create those levels, right? Let me just get to boom 1000, then I'll just show you a rough idea of how you get to do that, right? Okay, so on boom 1000, this is what we have, right? So as our price was actually approaching this order block, inside this order block, we look for a psychological or for a round number that is within that very order block, right? So to do it, it's very easy. You can just take your horizontal line, then you just place it like that, right? Then you go on settings and properties, right? Properties and settings, then you go on parameters. On parameters, we look at the number. We're talking about 12,100 and something, right? How about if I just put 12,200, right? That's the price that I expect to see magic on. 12,200, like that, right? Let me just place it like that. So it has modified this into that, right? So I'm learning as price was actually approaching my order block, right? I will take note of this very price, 12,200. That's my psychological price, right? Is within the range of the order block, right? So as we saw, price actually reacted, right? Price bouncing the order block, it moved up, it came back for a retest, right? Let me do this. Let me just remove these lines. Hope you have understood their purpose in the chart, what I was using them for, right? Okay, so is price reacted to your order block now? Price is just reacted to your order block. I want you to see something. Price is just reacted to the order block. It moved up, right? Then it came back to retest. What did it retest? It retested just the psychological price. So that's where you're going to get your sniper entries. This thing is already confirmed in engulfing candle. Then price is retesting what? Just a psychological zone, and we're getting our cool buys. That's how we'll actually get our buys from yesterday's buy on beam 1000, right? So whenever you have your order block, whenever you have a supply or demand zone, inside that demand zone, look for the psychological level, look for the round number that is inside that order block, and you're going to use that for your sniper entries. So in this case, this was 12,200. Wow, you've learned something that you ought to have by your side as you be trading, right? Okay, so let me just put a template, right? Because I can't say all these things right now. So what you can actually do, right, is let me go on the templates. Then mine is boom 1000. This one is saved, right? I'll show you how to save this one, boom 1000, like this. So this is how my chart is like. This is how my chart is like. When I'm trading, I have these levels in place, right? Let's look at the bottom right at the, or let me start here. Look the reaction that we got on this very spot. Spot on, that's where the market turned on a psychological price. This is 12,400, right? Let's go down. Price came, it bounced on this very point, right? That's a psychological price, right? Price came all the way to this bottom just to bounce on the psychological what? Price, right? What's next? Price was actually reacting. Sorry for that. Price was actually reacting in these psychological levels. See all those reactions. It was failing to break those psychological levels. They are key levels in the what? In the forex market. We moved up and it came down. It only bounced here, right? It went up, right? It missed that one, but it came back. It only bounced here, right? Now we got a push for today, right? And we are seeing some reactions. Price is just reacting on that psychological level. These are key levels in the forex market where you can actually get your sniper entries and your confirmations, right? We can go back to history and we can plot as many points as possible. Look at this. Imagine getting a buy on such a point. Imagine getting a sell on such a point. Imagine getting a sell on such a point, right? So this happens to every volatility index. This happens to every currency. Any instrument that you actually want to price, we have what we call psychological levels. We have what we call key levels. You can use these to your advantage, right? If I can actually go on V75, then I show you what is really happening on V75, you'll be shocked, right? So if you look at V75, this is what you're having, right? Let's look maybe on this point. Right, so we got our structure being broken. Price started to break the structure here, right? So always use this in line with structure. Always use this in line with the concept that I taught 3 days back. The video is the recent one, right? The one that is before this one. Okay, so price actually broke this high. What's next? Price has to return where it actually originated from, right? So you will actually mark your demand zone like this, right? But price shied this thing. Where did it bounce on? There was a psychological zone. There was a psychological zone. So price managed to move up. It came back. It retested that again. Look at that week. You will get sniper entries. So other people actually wonder, how do I raise very, very small accounts? How do I get some crazy sniper entries? My entries will be sitting on psychological zones. I actually don't trade these things without psychological zones, right? Even if my server is not so good, I just look at psychological zones. I can get some nice trades there. So we broke this very high, right? Price moved up. It came, bounced just on the psychological zone, right? We went up. It rejected. It came to this psychological zone, right? So there's some information that I can actually teach you, that I can actually teach here for free for some reasons, right? I teach that in premium, right? We have what we call hesitation zones, right? That are within the range of the psychological zone, right? What room of a stop loss do you actually give on a psychological zone? We talk about hesitation zones. We teach that in the premium platforms, right? So here we managed to create a new high. Price came back, it bounced just on this point. We created a new high. It came just on that psychological zone. To your left, we have your what? Your order blocks, right? If you look on shorter time frames, price here, it came back, it did this, it broke this smaller time frame structure, it pushed up, and it came to retest the psychological zone before the final what? Before the final rise. We managed to move up, right? It came, it bounced on the psychological level, right? Even if you look to today's setup, right? Maybe if you go to shorter time frame, it's crazy. You will be shocked, right? So today, for someone who will be scalping, right? Maybe you just want to scalp in and out, right? Let's look at this. Price just came, it bounced just on the psychological zone, right? Look at this. This is 925,000. These are key levels. So I just thought it would be cool if I bring you these concepts. We get to learn this, we get to use this in our trading and be profitable with this, right? So almost every other instrument that I'll actually be trading, I'll be having my psychological prices, my psychological levels in place. I don't trade without this. I don't make such a mistake. Okay, so I think you actually see that I've created my own templates like this. So for you to actually create a template is very, very easy, right? On your MT5 platforms, right? All you have to do, you have to look at your numbers to your right, right? You can see I'm moving 12,000, 12,100, 12,200, 12,300, and I go like that, right? So I'll just demonstrate with just this one, right? So I have 12,200, 12,000 here, right? So it means I have 11,900 just below, right? So I put my line, my horizontal line like that. I go on properties, right? Then I go on parameters, right? So I want 11,000 what? 900. I just type the 11,900 like that. 11,900 like that, right? Then I come on common. Make sure you do this. You disable selection, right? So that whenever you come to this chart, you won't be able to move these lines, right? Like they will be put on the background. of the what of that very workspace, right? Then you say okay, so it will go straight to 11,900, right? Even if you come and you try to click on this line, you see it's failing to actually highlight this very thing, right? So this is what you're going to do to every point that you are going to put in the chart, right? You come here below 11,900. What is it that we have? You have 11,000 what 800, right? So you just come here, disable selection, you go on 11,000 what 11,800, like that, right? Then you say okay, right? Then you say okay, so now we have 11,800, 11,000. So this is how I actually created all these things. So you do it once, you just create on the workspace that you want to work with, right? That you want to work the best. You actually do this on your 1 hour time frame on every synthetic indices, boom and crash, V75, V10, V50. Even on currencies, you can just do the same, right? Because we use this to get our sharp entries, right? After this, what is it that you do? You just come here, you go on templates. On templates, you say save template, right? Then you just write any name of interest that you actually want to save. In my case, I had written one price B1K, right? This is how I save my template. Then you say save. You say yes, right? So whenever you open a chart of boom 1000 like this, right? Say I open a chart of boom 1000. If I right click, then I say templates, I come on one price boom 1000 like that, right? My template will actually be loaded with all those prices. Remember, before we didn't have these prices, but now you can see we have 11,800, 11,900. So this is how you actually create your template if you're using MT5 or MT4. You get to V50, look at these points, look at where price is bouncing on those sniper entries. Look at that, look at that. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. So price is going to react, it's going to bounce on some key levels, right? Price doesn't just move, there is a pattern that it actually follows, right? So to learn more of this concept, going down all the way to M1, getting to learn more about these psychological levels, right? Key levels, RB zones, and what I've called quarter points. Quarter points, I won't actually bring it here, right? But you know where to get us. Come to the mentorship platform and you get to learn more of these concepts. But I believe I've just dropped something to your toolbox that you use to make more profits. So guys, thank you for watching this video, right? Always remember, always stay tuned on this channel, and we'll always drop you cool stuff on this channel. Thank you guys. See you in the next session that we're going to upload.